whoa. Change the what? Membrane. Hey, everybody. This is John Soltys, your host of Change the Membrane with co-host.
This is Chung.
And you are listening to Change the Membrane podcast. We're the show that brings you answers and guidance on everything from senior care to aging in place to just plain getting old. We're going to try to do it with a unique perspective, as always. So this is our first episode, our 0 episode. And
Introduction episode.
Yeah. Thank you. And so I am coming from the senior care space. Don.
So the way this is set up is perfect because John has the expertise and I have very little experience in senior care. So I'm going to be learning just like with the audience at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is a great setup that we have.
Yeah, this is going to be perfect because the questions you're going to have are going to be the exact questions a listener would have.
Exactly. With questions, also with my personal experience I'm going through with my elderly mother.
Yep.
So, like I said, this will be perfect with not only for myself, but with the audience as well.
Yeah. And because your mom lives in Virginia.
Yes.
Okay. We're here in California.
Mm-hmm.
So, which makes it extra hard, right? Because you're not there.
Absolutely.
Yep. So you're going through what a lot of our listeners are going to be going through.
Exactly.
Right. And you just got back from seeing your mom, right?
A week ago, yes.
Right.
Yep.
Hospitalized.
She was hospitalized for a week.
Okay.
And, I have a lot of questions because, like I said, I've very little experience in the senior care world. So I think this will be great.
Yeah.
For all of us.
I think we're all going to learn. We're going to talk about. We're going to get deep into a lot of these subjects, but we've agreed that most of the podcast. It's kind of a march to the end of the road, which we don't agree with. We don't believe in. There's a beauty to getting old. There's a lot to look forward to. And we want to highlight those things and talk instead of talking about aging as like a death sentence. It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. And realistically, in America right now, people are just getting older and living longer.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of questions. We're both of age where we have elderly parents. Some of them have passed, but there's a lot of questions I myself have. Now dealing with my mom.
Yeah. There's a lot. It's confusing. There's a ton you got to deal with. You have the benefit of having family in that area, but if you didn't.
Yeah,
what do you do?
I wouldn't know what to do.
Exactly. Yeah, you're 4,000, 3,500 miles away. How do you deal with an aging parent? And we're going to get into that. Okay. We're going to talk about home care, right? Like if you had to get someone in to help your mom, how does it work? How much does it cost? Who will pay for it?
Yeah, that's currently what I'm looking into right now because of. She has an aide that comes to her assisted. Oh, it's not. I'm sorry. It's not an assisted living.
Independent
living apartment. So she's there part time, and I'm in the process of possibly having having them come full time. Yeah. So we can go through all of that as well.
Yeah, and that's the reason for this. Like, how do you know when to escalate the care? How do you know when you move into a facility? Right? Because we know that the stats are over 90% of seniors say they want to age at home, even though that's not realistic. But we're going to get into that. We are going to get into assisted living. So if your mom was still home but had to go somewhere, what does that mean? Who pays for that?
Right.
How much are we looking at? We're also going to give a lot of information for family caregivers. So like you You know, if you were there and you were taking care of your mom, you're not trained, you're not a professional, but you still need answers, right? Guidance. And then we're going to get a lot into dementia and memory care because it's hitting everybody.
That's something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit, like, is your mom dealing with any of that, or is it just aging?
It's aging, but one thing that I didn't know was a lot of seniors get UTI, and I didn't know that when an elderly person has an UTI, it might be TMI, but it's got to be discussed.
Yeah.
That she was going through some her. I don't know. I don't want to say dementia, but
hallucinations.
She was having some hallucinations, and she was getting a little loopy.
Yeah,
that's my word. I want to use.
Yeah. That's another thing right there. No one thinks about something as simple as a UTI. With a senior, it becomes a whole nother ballgame.
Yeah. So, with this podcast, we could talk about everything.
Yeah.
Pertaining to senior care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This will be great.
We could just as we're sitting here talking, we can keep writing down stuff like, oh yeah, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about that. So that's what this show's going to be. The show's going to be, we're going to try to keep it light, but respectful but we don't want to be down all the time and dark all the time. We don't want to do it. So we want to set a tone, maybe have some laughs, right? Because there's some funny times, there's funny stuff. But we're going to bring a ton of info for the listeners. We're going to find innovators. We're going to talk to people that are doing amazing stuff in senior care, kind of changing the game. And we're going to bring it all to our audience. Yeah,
and John, from your experience, what you've told me is there's so many people out there that have questions and not enough answers right now.
Oh.
So this is what we're here for.
Yeah. Right? Our podcast is going to be real. Right? Instead of scripted.
Because I'm living it.
You're living it. Right. You need the answers, and you honestly don't know because you're not in the industry. So instead of feeding you questions, your questions are going to be the audience, which is fantastic. It's going to make it great. So that's going to be the show. That's the tone. Our main sponsor is Project Senior Care. ProjectSeniorCare.org. They're going to be launching a platform end of this year that's going to revolutionize aging. And we're going to support them, and we're going to be involved with them. And we hope you guys keep listening.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
that's why we're here.
So again, John Soltys.
Don Chung.
And this is Change the Membrane. And thank you for listening. Stay tuned.
And we'll see you guys soon.